Let's touch on those numbers from Kenya Airways, so swinging to a loss of 6.5 billion shillings, also giving a profit warning for the full year. So a lot of problems there at Kenya Airways.
Yes, I think it's a combination of various factors. If you start, Kenya Airways has a significant passenger reliance on passengers from the Euro area, and I think the Eurozone crisis has obviously affected the passenger numbers significantly. We've also seen the effects of the stronger Kenya shilling, and that has therefore impacted into a translation loss. We've also seen the company therefore engaging in the various cost-cutting initiatives to try and address the challenges that are facing as a result of the reduced volumes, and that's why we've seen them engage in a staff rationalization program. So I would say it's a combination. Yes, it's a combination of various factors that have therefore resulted in the loss that Kenya Airways announced this morning.
So now looking going forward, we know that Kenya Airways is playing in a rather difficult environment. We see airliners here in South Africa liquidating. Your thoughts on Kenya Airways' strategy going forward? What are your thoughts on that?
I think one of the strategies that Kenya Airways has therefore embarked on is to try and diversify its route network and try and reduce the reliance on the European route and look at growing routes with potential such as the Middle East and within the African continent, and has therefore engaged in a fleet acquisition program. So on the long term, it should help in terms of trying to assist the airline, try to balance, try to compensate for the loss of passenger numbers on the European routes, and also trying to enhance its domestic route capacity, and I think is in a short while expected to launch a low-cost airline for the local routes. Therefore, quite a bit of challenges, but I think the airline is also trying to address these issues. And as you say, globally, the airline industry is facing quite some challenges.
Let's move on to the banking sector. Equity Bank, for the 9 months to September, we had earnings jumping up about 30% due to an increase in interest income. Your thoughts on the results that we saw coming out of Equity Bank, and what was the market reaction?
I think in terms of the impact, the results, what you can clearly see is a reflection of two main factors. One is the impact of regional expansion, as the contribution to the bottom line for the Equity Bank in terms of the regional operations is now, I think, estimated at about 15%. We've also seen the impact of agency banking, and the deposits base has grown considerably, and then, a lot of transactions that the bank has been able to engage in at fairly low cost, because it hasn't had to invest in brick and mortar. So I think that is obviously a reflection of the fact that the agency banking network strategy is obviously working. And I think even here in Kenya, it's now acknowledged that, the central bank in its report has also indicated that agency banking is contributing significantly to increasing the financial inclusion space in the country. And I think in the market, we've also seen quite some volume, traded of equity in Equity Bank today, as a reflection of the confidence in these results.
Seems like there's a lot of confidence within the banking sector. We did have Diamond Trust Bank also reporting some rather positive results, as well as KCB. So now it's all about the other banks and what kind of results they can report. Do you think they will perhaps beat some of these results that we are seeing right now?
Yes, I would expect that the rest of the banking sector would probably also reflect a similar kind of upside in their results, especially now that we have seen an indication of interest rates coming down. That will therefore mean that their ability to lend will therefore be increasing, and also a reflection of the increase in terms of the ability of getting increase in depositors, as more and more banks continue to expand their branch network. We've also seen a reflection of that in the rights issues. Several banks have issued capital calls, rights issues in the last few months, all of which have been oversubscribed. So it's also a reflection of the fact that investors and shareholders are also confident on the outlook of the banking sector going forward.